Well, good evening. Pro wrestling fans from all over the world of all shapes and sizes. Welcome to another Pro Wrestling Talk, brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the YouTube the Tube. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. So, wanted to get on here, do another doubleheader review with a focus on New Japan Pro Wrestling. So, wanted to, first off, finally give my review of this past Sunday's New Japan Pro Wrestling Dominion show, and then gonna finish off giving my review of the very special DESPE Invitacional show that took place just yesterday. So, two reviews coming at you in this video. So, without further ado, let's get started with NJPW Dominion, which took place this past Sunday at the Osaka Joe Hall. We had a good number of matches, including a handful of title matches and also the finals of the Best of Super Juniors tournament. So let's go ahead. Let's jump right on in to the review. Let me take a quick sip of coffee. Very good. All right, let's get started with our first matchup. So I must say, and this was actually technically, I believe, a pre-show match, but we had a singles match between Tetsuya Naito and Callum Newman. Kind of interesting to see Tetsuya Naito starting off in the first match, especially of a big show like Dominion. So, yeah, pretty interesting. Very, very interesting. But anyway, despite Callum Newman getting the preemptive strike on Tetsuya Naito while he still had his entrance gear on, tried to bring it and did pretty well, but let's keep it real. We knew that Newman wasn't going to defeat Naito. That just wasn't going to happen. It took a bit, but Naito eventually gathered himself and was able to defeat Callum Newman. Took him out with a Destino, pinned him for the 1-2-3. But got to give Newman credit on the preemptive attack. Tried to get the upper hand early. Worked for a while, but couldn't win the match. But Tetsuya Naito, your winner. All right, let's go to our next matchup. All right, we had some trios action. We had TMDK's Kosei Fujita, Robbie Eagles, and Zack Sabre Jr. taking on the Bullet Club War Dogs of Clark Connors, Drilla, Moloney, and featuring from Pro Wrestling Noah's Good Looking Guys, LJ Cleary. Pretty good match overall. I wouldn't say nothing too crazy special, but we'll give, LJ Cleary credit. I felt like he had a pretty good presence in this match. Of course, until he had to deal with Zack Sabre Jr. But overall, it was a pretty solid match. But when the time came for Zack Sabre Jr. to really get cooking, it was a wrap. It was definitely a wrap, as Zack Sabre Jr. was able to pin LJ Cleary for the 1-2-3 after hitting him with a Zack driver. TMDK, your winners in this match. But yeah, not too crazy. I won't say it was like a spectacular match or anything like that, but it was pretty decent. It's pretty decent. All right. Next up, we go into our first of many title matches for this show. Check it out. Okay, we had the provisional, or we have the the 2024 KOPW Provisional Championship on the line in a special Storm Catch Rules match, which apparently is the way they had it is very similar to kind of like a pure rules match, just about. Pretty much you could only use takedowns. You can't use any strikes or anything like that, but you can still win by pinfall, submission, stuff like that. But anyway, you had the champ, Heat Storm Yuya Uemura, defending against Great-O-Khan. Definitely not as unique of a KOPW match as there have been many others in history, but I felt like this was a good match to really showcase how well both can really work against each other as far as grappling, takedowns, groundwork, stuff like that. So I liked it for what it was. I really did. And, you know, it's really interesting, especially in a match where there's, you know, no striking allowed. But I thought it was actually good for what it was with this stipulation. But once again, Great-O-Khan was able to get the championship back, as he was able to put away Yuya Uemura with a super eliminator, pinned him for the 1-2-3. Great-O-Khan, your new Provisional KOPW 2024 champion. So he gets the title back. Congratulations to him. Bummer for Yuya Uemura. He didn't have it that long. So, but like I said, not as unique and as crazy as other KOPW title matches, but for what this stipulation was, I felt like it was a solid match. Okay, next up, back to trios action. This time, we had the Never Openweight 6-man Tag Team Championships on the line. As the champs of Mr. Ace President Hiroshi Tanahashi, Toru Yano, and Boltin Oleg defended the titles against LIJ's Yoda-Tsuji, Hiromu Takahashi, and BUSHI. I felt like this was a good match overall. I really liked the kind of the back and forth between Yoda-Tsuji and Boltin Oleg. I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, it was back and forth throughout the match. And, you know, it was quite a very interesting but tough matchup for the champions to take on. But LIJ would not be denied. And while the champs did hang tough, it was Yoda-Tsuji who was the turning point of this match. Of course, Yoda-Tsuji, who not too long ago won the New Japan Cup, finally has his first taste of championship gold in New Japan Pro Wrestling. He was able to put away Hiroshi Tanahashi, which was big that he put him away, hitting him with a Gene Blast, pinning him for the 1-2-3. And LIJ, Yoda-Tsuji, BUSHI, Hiroshi Tanahashi are your new Never Openweight 6-man Tag Team Champions. And I have to say, it has been a long time since BUSHI has held a title, which I think the last title he held was the Never Openweight 6-man Tag Team Championship. So that's crazy. But yeah, Yoda-Tsuji's first piece of championship gold in his New Japan career. You know, of course he didn't end up with the top title after he won the New Japan Cup, but hey, at least he can finally put some gold down on his resume. So congratulations to LIJ, especially Yoda-Tsuji, on capturing gold. I know it's been a bit since Hiromu has had tag team gold of any form of fashion, because he's normally holding that IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. So yeah. And like I said, congrats to Bushi. He hasn't held a title in a long time, so good stuff. Although it would have been nice if the champions had a little bit of a longer run, especially with this being Boltin Oleg's first piece of championship gold. But at least he can say he's been a champion in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And now Yota Tsuji can say the same thing. So, LIJ, your new never openweight 6-man tag team champions. Alrighty. Let's go into this next championship match. And this was, if you ask me, I thought this was a banger. Alrighty, we had the NJPW World Television Championship on the line. As the champion, Jeff Cobb defend against the Stone Pitbull Tomohiro Ishii. Oh man, this was a great match. More and more, I'm starting to appreciate the big boys really going at it in these hard-hitting matches, whether it's New Japan, whether it's Pro Wrestling Noah, just anywhere. Really good to see the big guys get showcased and put on some excellent matches, and this is another one that I add to the list. And I have to say, that was quite an incredible spot seeing Tomohiro Ishii hit Jeff Cobb with a Hurricane Rana. Like, what? Just pop up Hurricane Rana. Like, well executed by the big man. Definitely did not see that coming. I have to say that was probably the best spot of the whole match. But still very hard hitting, and really could have gone either way with just how well both men delivered in this match, even with a 15-minute time limit, as all NJPW World Television Championship matches are. But when it was all said and done, Jeff Cobb was actually able to catch Tomohiro Ishii and took him right through a tour of the islands and then pinned him for the 1-2-3. Jeff Cobb, still your NJPW World Television Champion. But like I said, that was a phenomenal match. Really, really enjoyed that match. And not only that, also wanted to make note that Jeff Cobb backstage had issued an open challenge. And it looks like he's wanting to compete at Forbidden Door. But open challenge. Open challenge for the NJPW World Television Championship. So, hey, looks like we may be seeing a match divvied up at Forbidden Door for that title. But we shall see. Okay. Next match. Okay. We had ourselves a fatal 4-way tornado elimination tag match for both the IWGP and the Strong Openweight Tag Team Championships. So, winner take all. You had the champion teams of the IWGP Tag Team Champions, Kenta and Chase Owens of the Bullet Club, versus the Strong Openweight Tag Team Champions in Hikuleo and El Phantasmo, versus TMDK's Mikey Nichols and Shane Hayes, versus Bishamon of Yoshi-Hashi and Hiroki Goto. But yeah, this was a very intense match from start to finish. I mean, 4 teams, tornado tag style elimination match. So it would go on and go on until there was only one team left that would take all the gold. And it definitely delivered in a great way, in a really, really great way. And something that I had thought about when I did a preview of this ended up happening. I was actually pretty shocked that it went down this way, but I'm happy that it did. So, order of eliminations. First off, TMDK eliminated Guerrillas of Destiny's Hikuleo and El Phantasmo when Mikey Nicholls pinned Hikuleo after they hit him with the Tank Buster double team finisher. And then Hiroki Goto ended up pinning Chase Owens for the 1-2-3 after him and Yoshi-Hashi dropped him with a Shoto. So the final two teams left were Bishamon and TMDK. And it was definitely hard-hitting, back and forth. I mean, a lot of near falls from both teams. Even crazy seeing Yoshi-Hashi kick out of a Tank Buster. But it took one more Tank Buster, Avalanche style, so pretty much a super Tank Buster, that was able to finally put away Yoshi-Hashi. Mikey Nicholls makes the cover, 1-2-3, and TMDK survives to the last and walks away with both sets of tag titles. Shane Haste, Mikey Nicholls, TMDK are your new IWGP World Tag Team Champions and NJPW Strong Openweight Tag Team Champions. So, I know it was recent that they had lost those titles, the Strong titles, back to back to Guerrillas of Destiny. But now look at them. They lost, but then they came back and won double in a big way. And they walk away with both sets of tag titles. So, congratulations, Shane Haste, Mikey Nicholls. Now, not sure if they're gonna, eventually officially unify those titles, but they got both sets. We'll see what happens. And word is, I believe this is Hikuleo's last match. That's what the word is. And of course, he just got pinned. So it looks like he may be WWE bound. That's what the word is. But we'll see. We'll see. All right, next match. This was a really, really good match. All right, you had the Never Openweight Championship on the line as the champion, Shingo Takagi, went up against Hanare. Big opportunity for Hanare, and I tell you, he made it well worth it. These two big behemoths went at it, hard hitting. Hanare is, like I said, it's really great having him back. He looks in prime form, and he really brought his A game. Both of them did in this match, and it was just back and forth with strikes, clotheslines, shoulder tackles, headbutts. It was pretty hard hitting. Very hard hitting, this match. All the way to the point where both ended up pretty much getting knocked out to the mat, and neither one of them could get back up to the count of 10, and therefore ended pretty much in a count-out draw, because nobody could get back up. And therefore, because it ended in a draw, Shingo, still your Never Openweight champion. So, Hanare came so close. Came really close. But don't be surprised if he gets another shot at this title maybe later on this year. I think he's going to eventually get another shot, and I think he'll win. I could see this being his first title. I could. Especially first singles title in New Japan. I think this will be a great fit for him. But yeah, that was a great match. Okay, next up. Okay, you had the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship on the line in a lumberjack match. You had the champion, Jon Moxley, taking on Evil. Now, of course, Evil had House of Torture out there as his lumberjacks. But Jon Moxley had some lumberjacks of his own in the form of, what did they have? Shota Umino, Yuji Nagata, Hiroyoshi Tenzan, Tiger Mask was there. So he had a good handful of lumberjacks out there. So to help even the odds. But Evil and Moxley went back and forth. House of Torture tried to get involved. So did the other lumberjacks in support of Jon Moxley. So it just got to the point where it became very chaotic. Weapons were used. I mean, that metal push-up bar came into play. We even saw the barbed wire baseball bat come into play in this match. Yeah, that's right. It was crazy. But, of course, House of Torture is going to do House of Torture stuff, so it did not surprise me that this match turned out to be very chaotic. But, thankfully, Mox was able to endure and was able to capitalize and put away Evil with a Death Rider onto said barbed wire baseball bat. Then pinned him for the 1-2-3. Jon Moxley, still your IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. Afterwards, though, Tetsuya Naito comes out. He comes out and he challenges Jon Moxley. He wants a shot to get back the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. And he wants his shot at Forbidden Door. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get Jon Moxley versus Tetsuya Naito once again. Title on the line, but will be at Forbidden Door. So, big match to look forward to there. Very big match. That should be good. They get to run at it. Run it back again. And the main event of Dominion at Osaka-jo Hall came down to the finals of the Best of Super Juniors 31. It came down to El Desperado versus Taiji Ishimori. No time limit. It had been a while since these two duked it out one-on-one. So, really cool that they got the main event spot. Really, really cool. And it definitely went the distance. I mean, these two pretty much dominated in their block matches during the tournament. Of course, Ishimori had the best overall record in this tournament. And like I said, really could have gone either way, and there's a reason why these two are in the finals. Definitely punched their spot to the finals. Well earned, well deserved. But I think the man that many of us were hoping for to win this ended up winning it, as it took a spiked Tiger Driver and then transitioned into a Pinche Loco onto Ishimori And then the 1, 2, 3. And ladies and gentlemen, El Desperado is your Best of the Super Juniors 31 winner. So, big victory for DESPE. And hopefully this opens the door for him to get back the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship, because in his previous run, it did not last long. So I'm hoping that he has a shot to get it back and have a longer run, which, of course, Sho is the current champion. And I hope that he does beat Sho. Sho came out, well, he pretty much called out Sho and whatnot. But it looks like the match that DESPE wants with Sho for the title, he wants it in a steel cage match. Wants it in a steel cage. So that should be good. That should be really good. I hope he gets his wish. But we got that to look forward to. So that should be good. That should really be good. But yeah, that is Dominion. Good show overall. Overall, really good show. Can't say that I really had any complaints. There is another thing I want to mention that they did talk about. So, G1 Climax news. That's right. So what we got for the G1 Climax 34. So it will start July 20th, and the finals will be on August 18th. Okay? The format's going to be a little different. Format's going to be a little bit different. So let me break it down. So 2 blocks of 10 wrestlers. So block A, block B. Matches will be 30-minute time limits. There will be 18 participants. 18 of the participants will be announced next week, which I assume will be this week, since, you know, it's a new week. Or maybe next week. 2 participants, because remember, this is 20 wrestlers total, so we're going to have 18 announced, and then 2 participants will be determined by a play-in tournament, which will begin June 22nd. That's next week. So the top 3, not 2, the top 3 wrestlers in each block. So the top 3 from block A and the top 3 from block B will advance to the knockout stage. Okay? Now, here's where it gets interesting. The top finisher of block A and block B will get a bye. Will get a bye. Okay? So that means the second and third place winners in each block have to wrestle to make it to the semifinals. So the top finishers will automatically qualify for the semifinals because they'll get a bye. And then the winners of the semifinal matches will wrestle in the grand finals August 18th. And of course, you know how it usually is. Winner of the G1 Climax gets the briefcase. Typically means they get a shot at the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship at Wrestle Kingdom, which I believe next year's is Wrestle Kingdom 14, I believe. Which is January 4th. So that's the format for the G1 Climax 34 for this year. Should be really good. Looking forward to when they announce the participants. So, yeah, should be good. Should be really good. Okay, before I go into the DESPE Invitacional, here's a quick word on the sponsor for this video, Game Beauty. Check them out. As you continue to enjoy content here at Blitzball Champ Gaming, be sure you take a moment to check out Game Beauty. Beauty inspired by gaming. Game Beauty brings to you video game related makeup and cosmetic products. You have products such as eyeshadow palettes, elemental pearl highlighters, eyeshadow brushes, liquid eyeliner pens by Akideris, and even non-makeup products like graphic tees. They even have special collaboration makeup kits, such as this Persona 5 Heat Wave Brush Single, Metaverse Bundle, and even a Phantom Thieves Limited Edition Makeup Collection. Also remember that Game Beauty provides international shipping of $60 or more. And if you use the promo code BlitzballChamp, all in caps, you can get 10% off of your order. So be sure to use that to your advantage. Now, back to your regularly scheduled video. Enjoy, and thank you. Alrighty, switching gears to a very special pay-per-view that took place yesterday at Korakuen Hall. This was yesterday, as in June 10th. This was the very special DESPE Invitacional, where the card, it was a surprise card, but it was based on invitations from El Desperado, pretty much the producer of this show. So shout out to him. It was kind of a perfect setting for him, especially considering he just won the Best of Super Juniors 31 trophy. So it was pretty neat. Gets a chance to have some fun. So we ended up having 7 total matches for the show. Very, very interesting surprises. Very interesting. I don't have match graphics because, like I said, this ended up being a surprise card. But let's go through it. First up, we had a trios match. Team number 1, we had the team of Mr. Ace President Hiroshi Tanahashi, Toru Yano, and from Diana, Kyoko Inoue. Yep, that's team number 1. Team number 2 ended up being Isami Kodaka, Yuko Miyamoto, and from Sendai Girls, Dash Chisako. So, good to see Dash Chisako. Really good match. Really good match overall. What a way to start things out with this special trios match. It had a little bit of comedy elements in there as well, especially with Kyoko Inoue and Dash Chisako. But this was a pretty entertaining match. Definitely like what I saw. And also, special shout out to El Desperado, who also provided commentary for a lot of these matches. But anyway, good match starting off. Hiroshi Tanahashi ended up getting the victory for his team, pinning Isami Kodaka after hitting him with a high fly flow. So, Nice little open match there. But Hiroshi Tanahashi, Toru Yano, Kyoko Onoe with the victory. This next match was definitely one of my favorites. Definitely one of my favorites. We got to see El Desperado take part in this match. We had a tag team match. El Desperado teamed up with Mima Shimoda, and they took on the Team of Kids. That's right. Dragon Kid and Starlight Kid. This was a big deal because Starlight Kid gets a chance to wrestle her big brother, Desperado. So, it was actually really cool to see. And they even started the match off. Big brother DESPE, little sister, the Sky Tiger. So, and I liked how, even though she came out with the El Desperado mask, when she took it off, it was pretty much a tiger mask, kind of fitting the color scheme of Dragon Kid's mask. So I thought that was really cool. But yeah, this was a very great match. Like I said, I love the back and forth between El Desperado and Starlight Kid. Just seeing those two wrestle each other. Really, really enjoyable. And even with Dragon Kid, Mima Shimoda, I really enjoyed this match. This match was a lot of fun. But Starlight Kid got the submission victory on Mima Shimoda with that numero dos. Got that numero dos, just like El Desperado likes to use sometimes, that numero dos submission. But yeah, the kiddos. Dragon Kid, Starlight Kid pick up the victory. But of course, you know, great sportsmanship from Starlight Kid and El Desperado. Like I said, that's DESPE was her big brother. Big brother DESPE. So that was really cool to see. And all four of them did a pose together after the match. So I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, definitely enjoyed the mess out of that match. Okay. Next up, we ended up having a fatal four-way. We had Daisuke Sasaki, of course from Damnation TA, versus Doki, versus Ita, who not too long ago just joined Pro Wrestling Noah, and Violento Jack, who I'm not really that familiar with. But fatal four-way, pretty interesting match. With a very unique finish. There was there was apparently a big sheet of cans. Like thick cans. Like, they definitely didn't look like soda cans. They looked like one of those, you know, those big thick cans that you have like green beans in, cut open. But they were just lined up on this big board. But yeah, they were big. They were like this big. And they were opened cans. And Violento Jack pretty much got avalanche powerbombed onto that board of cans. And then pretty much Daisuke Sasaki, Doki, and Ita ended up pinning Violento Jack for the 1, 2, 3. And the ref legit awarded the victory to Doki, Ita, and Daisuke Sasaki. It was weird. It was really, really weird. But that ending spot was definitely the best spot of the whole entire match, for sure. But that was a really weird ending. Really weird. Really weird. But yeah, it was really weird. Okay, next up, this was a very entertaining match, and it ended up kind of being pretty brutal. especially from the start. We had ourselves another tag team match, but this time we had the team of Jun Kosei and Hiromu Takahashi facing off against the combination of Takayuki Ueki and Murder Grandpa Minoru Suzuki. So this was a very interesting combination. And Hiromu, he got his eye jacked up. Like, had this nasty cut above his eye. I think it was his left eye. But it was a very entertaining match. We got to see Jun Kosei and Minoru Suzuki clash out in a chair-to-chair battle. And just, they went at it. We even got to see a couple of buckets of, I guess those are Legos or little mini blocks or something similar to Legos. And they even had each of the wrestlers, they decided to take their boots off so that they would be barefoot, just traveling and wrestling across a ring full of Legos that they would step on and get slammed on and dropped on. It was very entertaining. Really, really entertaining. And really, anything could have happened. Anything could have happened. But very, very interesting finish, though. Hiromu Takahashi got the pin on Takayuki Ueki after a diving splash onto him while he had a couple of stacked Lego blocks across his chest and stomach. So I'm sure that had to hurt like crazy. But pinned him for the 1-2-3. Jun Kosei, Hiromu Takahashi, your winning team. But that was a very entertaining match, for sure. Okay, next up, we had ourselves another fatal four-way, but this time it was deemed a fatal four-way hardcore match. And we had interesting lineup of competitors for this one. We had El Phantasmo versus Masashi Takeda versus Chris Brooks versus Mao. So, quite a DDT presence on this show. But yeah, this was a hardcore match. All four of these guys really battled it out and they jacked each other up. For real. They had like tote boxes and all sorts of weapons. There was staple guns. Like, it was crazy. It was really, really crazy. Had a big old board of nothing but plastic forks. I mean, whew. It was crazy. It was really, really crazy. Like, and the funny thing is, the match before this might as well have been a hardcore match as well, even though they didn't deem it a hardcore match. But both, I mean, were just full of all sorts of stuff. But a very, very surprising finish that you normally don't see. This hardcore match ended in a time limit draw. That's weird. Since when do hardcore matches end in a time limit draw? That's not normal. That's not normal. That's not normal. So I was just really shocked at that ending. Time limit draw. Which also ended up setting up a match for DDT's Wrestle Peter Pan between El Desperado and Chris Brooks. So I'm actually looking really forward to that. That should be a really great match. But yeah, DESPE and Chris Brooks Looking forward to that. I can't wait until they finish out the card, putting together the card for that, because that should be really good. All right. Next up, we had a singles match. We had Hikaru Sato versus Zack Sabre Jr. So they had a nice little battle. You know, got to see a lot of strikes and submission attempts. Of course, it was good to see good sportsmanship at the beginning before they went at it. Definitely traded submission attempts and a lot of strikes back and forth. But it was fun while it lasted. But Zack Sabre Jr. was able to pick up the victory. A submission victory with a grounded stretch muffler. Executed really well on Hikaru Sato. But Zack Sabre Jr., your winner. Nice submission victory there. Very enjoyable back and forth match. A lot of good technical mat skills displayed from both. A lot of good striking. It was a good, solid match. And then, oh Lord, here we go. And then what ended up being the main event really just, I'm not going to say it ruined the whole show for me, but that was a craptacular main event to cap off this, what was very entertaining special show. The main event ended up being a tag team match between Bullet Club's Dick Togo and Gato. Which technically, Dick Togo is more House of Torture when you think about it. So, Dick Togo, Gato, and they went up against the team of El Desperado. So El Desperado had another match, and his tag partner ended up being Danshoku Dino. Oh, man. And they both ended up having matching gear. And of course, both stripped down to nothing but a thong. Match was garbage. For obvious reasons. I'm sorry, like, I'm all for comedy matches, but when you're repeatedly, you know, shoot, I'm okay with the occasional stink face and Bronco Buster. But when you literally keep having spots where the dude is putting somebody else's face and another person's bum repeatedly, it ruins it for me. That's too much. That's too much for me. That's too much for me. Like, there's too far, and then there's that. And that, I can't deal with that. Like, honestly, I barely even finished that match. If it wasn't for me, like, reviewing this, I wouldn't have finished that match. I wouldn't have finished it. I'm sorry, but just, I can't stand stuff like that. I really can't. Like, it's too much. It's too much. But I'm actually kind of glad that Gato picked up the victory for his team, pinning Danshoku Dino. You got him with the Gato clutch. 1, 2, 3. Dick Togo, Gato for the victory. And I didn't care about anything else after that match. I was just ready for it to end and be out of there because the main event was already ruined for me when the competitors were announced. Because I had a bad feeling of after everybody was announced what was going to happen in that match, and it freaking happened, and it made me sick to my stomach. So, yeah. So, overall, the show was pretty good up to the main event. then the main event was just trash. It was just very trashy. All the rest of the matches, good, solid. Main event, trash. So, I said what I said. Sorry, not sorry. But, anyway, a couple of things I wanted to mention. So, they actually got an upcoming tour starting, the New Japan Soul 2024 tour. And night one is actually coming up a day after the All Together show on June 15th, All Together in Sapporo. So, which actually this New Japan Soul, night one is also in Sapporo. So this is June 16th. And they're actually doing a bunch of title matches for this show. They're going to have a Young Lion match. Masatori Yasuda versus Daiki Nagai. United Empire will be in action. Callum, Newman, Francesco Akira. Ooh, Francesco Akira returns to action. That's good. Great Okan, Jeff Cobb, TJP taking on Katsuya Murashima, Shoma Kato, Tomoaki Hanma, Tomohiro Ishii, and Satoshi Kojima. Interesting. But hey, it's good to see that Francesco Akira will return to action. Just Five Guys of Doki and Taichi versus House of Torture's Ren Narita and Yoshinobu Kanemaru tag team match. Okay. House of Torture's Dick Togo, Yujiro Takahashi, and Evil taking on the combination of Shota Umino and Bishamon, which is Hiroki Goto, Yoshi-Hashi. LIJ and Just Five Guys will do battle, tag team. Just Five Guys is Taka Michinoku and Heatstorm Yuya Uemura will take on LIJ's Tetsuya Naito and Teton. Oh, okay. Hey, how often do you see Teton and Naito team up? That's cool. Let's see. They're going to have a run back of the Never Openweight 6-man tag team championship match that just happened at Dominion. So, the champs, LIJ's Yoda Bushi and Hiromu Takahashi will defend, in a rematch against Toru, Yano, Hiroshi, Tanahashi, Boltin, Oleg. So they're going to have a chance to get those titles back. The Ichiban Sweet Boys will get a crack at the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships as Robbie Eagles, Kosei Fujita will take on the Bullet Club War Dogs champions, Drilla Moloney and Clark Connors. That should be really good. Hanare will get another shot at the Never Openweight Championship as he will try his luck again against the champion Shingo Takagi. So they're going to run that back. Although this one's going to have a 60-minute time limit. So longer time. Well, then again, the Dominion match they lost by double knockout draw. So I'm sure this will be different this time around. Sonata will get a crack at the IWGP Global Championship as he will challenge the champion David Finlay. So David Finlay defending that title. And the main event, they're going to give DESPE his title match at this show? Huh. That's kind of a bummer. I would have thought they would have given him his title shot at maybe a bigger show. Huh, that's a bummer. But yeah, steel cage match, IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. Show versus El Desperado. Yeah, that's kind of a bummer, to be honest with you. Well, yeah, that's a bummer. I would have thought it would have been on a much bigger show than this tour. Oh well. Well, let me see something. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that they're giving him his title shot that soon instead of on a bigger show, but whatever. But as long as he wins, then I'll be happy, because bump House of Torture, bump show. But anyway, that'll do it for this video. Like I said, both shows were pretty good, and yeah, looking forward to what they got coming up as they start the road to the G1 Climax 34. So that should be good. Should be really good. Anyway, thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to check out Game Beauty. And let me know what y'all thought of both shows. What did y'all think of NJPW Dominion? What do you think of El Desperado winning the Best of the Super Juniors 31? What did you think of the DESPE Invitacional? Let me know what you thought about that show. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell while you're at it. Hope y'all enjoyed tonight's video. For another Pro Wrestling Talk brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. My name is Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. Hope y'all have a blessed day tomorrow, and I will see y'all in the next video in our live stream. Peace out.